Good morning, my knitters. How are you this morning? Welcome to Recreational Knitting. My name is Karen, and this is day 18 of my Vlogmas. Where did we get to day 18? That means 7 days from now it will be Christmas. Hoping this finds you healthy and enjoying whatever you're doing and trying to live a stress-free, joyful life. Anyway, I don't have any yarn this morning on my Advent. We did that yesterday. Those of you that have been around know that I only have the 12-day Advent, and yesterday was my day to open it up. So you'll have to come back tomorrow to see another mini opened up. I look forward to it. I am going to make a couple of announcements for 2024. We're going to have two make-alongs, for lack of a better word. The first one, we are going to have a Whip Be Gone 2024. We did this last year for 3 months, I believe, and I think a lot of us got a lot of works in progress, finished, out the door, whatever we decided we were doing with them. I will be doing a whip parade soon. Stay tuned for that one. I know a lot of people always like that and go, oh my gosh, how did that ever happen for that poor woman? Yeah, cast on parties, yeah. Birthday cast-ons, which I did not do this year. Yeah. So that's the first one. Anything that you have cast on by December 31st of this year, so 2 weeks from today or yesterday, anything will count. There will be prizes. I haven't figured all that out yet, but we're going to continue this for an entire year. And then there will be a second make-along that will show you how to reduce the stash that you've got. I'm working on those presently, and if you are serious, there are serious ways to reduce that stash that kind of gives you a little, ugh, I got all that to knit? Even though it's, oh, I got all that to knit, really, is how you feel. It starts to become anxiety inducing when you see this much yarn and you think, what am I going to do with all of that? Well, I'm going to make a series of videos that hopefully will help you start to think about that. I hope to post the first one sometime this week, so look at that, look for that, I should say, not at that. Well, you can look at that after you see it. Never mind, it's early in the morning and I've only had 1 cup of coffee. We've already had the bug man come. We live in Florida, you have to have a bug man. So he's already been here and I digress. Anyway. Look for those 2 things to occur. I suggest that if you know anybody that wants to reduce stash or work on works in progress, to let them know about this. It will be done on Ravelry, and if you have a problem accessing Ravelry, let me know, email me, and I'll get your entries in as well, and I'll post them for you. I really want to make this work for all of us. So if you knit, if you crochet, if you cross stitch, if you quilt, if you do resin, if you do any kind of craft, that will be counted in works in progress and stash reduction, both of them. I don't care. It's just let's work from our stash and see what we can accomplish in a calendar year with that. I hope you join in and really buy into some of this. We live in a world that is very commercialized, especially here in the States. And while I believe in supporting local dyers, you can see that, I also realize that I am of the age where if I don't start really working on this and stop buying, that my kids will have to deal with this, and I don't want that. So, yeah. So 2 things, Whip Be Gone 24, and I think I'm going to call it Stash Down, but I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out. You know, I've given it thought, I've thought about it, but I'm not sure. Any suggestions for that? Let me know. I'm open. But yes, the entire 12 months starts January 1st. So this year, instead of casting on January 1st, if you're one of those people that does that, pull out a whip bag and start. It'll make you feel better. And whatever your technique is to do that, you'll have about a week or two to really think about what it is you want. I would suggest that you find yourself a book similar to that. You know, it doesn't need to be fancy. Just to start to write in some goals of what it is that you would like to do for the next year. Do you want to do all the whips that you've got? Do you want to do 5 whips? Do you want to do all the whips in fancy bags? Do you want to do all your sweaters? It's up to you what your goals are. And then I'm going to show you, as best I can, some techniques that might help all of us get rid of this beautiful yarn and actually use it. And speaking of using yarn, I worked a little bit yesterday on a couple socks that were in stash in my storage unit when we were out on the road. Didn't make a ton of progress, but it doesn't need to be a ton of progress to work on it. I worked a little bit on my monkey socks or gingerbread man socks that I'll probably give to my daughter. Here's where it was last time I showed you, which was I think 2 or 3 days ago. So I put about 1 inch on. That's it. I got tired of working with those needles with that yarn, and that's the only reason I stopped. So I picked up this again. Oh man, I got some stitches off. Let me get those back on. We don't want to lose those. Might have to do some surgery later. All right. And then during some of the football games yesterday, I knit a couple inches on that. This again was found in stash, and it was in a storage unit, and I've got like tension differences. I wouldn't say really concerns, but you can tell where I stopped. But yeah, so that's how much I worked on yesterday. Yeah, I don't know when the last time I showed you this, but yesterday was the only time I really worked on it. This is Lorna Laces. They do not dye yarn anymore. So, and I don't know who made this yarn, but I remember it being labeled as sock monkey yarn. So yeah, working on the stash, working on the whips. So that's all I've done besides some organizational things here. And I'm already running too much here. But I'll show you my sampler of the day. I'll scooch up a little bit so you can see it. It's an Adam and Eve sampler. I did this in the year 2000. And yeah, there's the 00 for 2000. And this is over 1 on 36 count. An Eve sampler. I don't know who the designer was. I don't think this was a reproduction. But yes, that's all I've got for today. Don't forget to start thinking about how you're going to handle your works in progress and how you'd like to handle some stash issues. And I'll be back to see you later. Knit in peace.